Nebraska wrapped up their Wednesday practice here in Lincoln. Hi, Sean Callahan, HuskerOnline.com, as the Huskers get ready to travel for the second week in a row out to Purdue. And we talked with both offensive coordinator Mark Whipple and defensive coordinator Bill Busch here on Wednesday. And it was interesting to hear Whipple just talk about the offense and said, look, he knows he could have done a much better job getting them ready in the first half against the Scarlet Knights.
Best thing about last week, not going back, was when I walked in at halftime, the look in their eyes on offense, and we played terrible, and I did a bad job coaching all that, and we're bad on third down, was there wasn't like, woe is me. It was, hey, I said, we're going to take the ball second half, here's the plays, we're going to go down and score, and the game will be changed right there, and we're going to win the game. And that's it. And they all believed in it, and that's a credit to Mickey and to the offensive coaches and all the guys that way.
And with it being a short week, Whipple said it was no doubt the worst week of practice he thought they had all season.
Everybody knows when you don't play well, and I knew as a coach I didn't coach crappy. We had a bad week. We had our worst week of practice. We only had one day to work hard and get some things. We weren't very good that day, and I carried over. And the positive was I talked to them Sunday and said, we got to have our best week of practice. You guys learned you can't practice like that and expect to play well. All right? And we've really flipped it this week. Has been the two best days we've had all year. And that's a positive. Now, they had a day off, and I think that helped. They weren't really ready for the short week.
Whipple also hit on some of the issues Nebraska's had with the offensive line.
Well, we went to the silent count, and I did a bad job. Could have helped out a little bit more on that, you know. The ironic thing was we only had one sack. But, you know, if you look at stats, that's how misleading it could be. But the second half kind of settled down and did some other stuff that way. And, you know, we just, hey, you go on the road, it's hard to win anywhere, and it's hard to win at home. It's hard to win on the road. And we just didn't have any rhythm. We didn't have any but as I said, the kids showed a lot of resolve, and that was the most important thing. It's, you know, showed a lot of heart and found a way.
And with a sold-out crowd at Ross-Ade Stadium, there's no question this game at Purdue is going to present a challenge for the Huskers.
Veteran group all over the place. Graham's back, who's a really good player, number 6. They got guys up front that can rush the passer and play physical. The back end's veteran. Their corners have been back there. You look down, it's senior, redshirt senior, junior, all the way through. They're not playing any young guys. They're playing at home. They won 3 in a row. They come up and made big plays when they have to, so it's a real challenge for it. It's the best team we've played, I'd say, since Oklahoma, but people, I'd say that Oklahoma played well against us, so it's a huge challenge for us.
As for the defense, lots of questions for Bill Busch about the black shirts. Still no black on this Nebraska defense. Why?
No, we got a great pack of kids playing right now together, and that's they're going to stay just like that. Coach Joseph decides that he wants to be able to give them back, absolutely, I'll support him 100%. But right now we got a very good mindset of how we're going to play as a unit, and that's all we're worried about right now, is just being one big unit.
This week they'll face an extremely tough test against Purdue, led by all Big Ten caliber quarterback Aiden O'Connell.
They've got a lot of movement, a lot of motion, so that they're a mesh route team. They've got every concept they have. That's because the quarterback can throw them. Some people are mesh route throwing teams, and the quarterback doesn't have a real strong arm, so they can try to create confusion to get easy throws. Well, this guy can go, obviously, he can go far hash throws. He can go big comebacks to the field. He's got big shots down the field. He's got every single throw. So in the NFL, scouts turn the film on. Do you have this? Yes. Do you have this? Yes. So he has everything. So their concepts are that's part of them, but they've got it all. They got shots down the field. They've got mesh routes. They got every concept that you can imagine. They've got it because the quarterback can do it. That's the reason that they can do it. They have receivers. Most places have receivers that can do it. Do they have the guy, the quarterback, and they have it in that guy. So he's really, really good, and Coach Brom's outstanding.
And finally, I think just the resiliency of this team. When Bill Busch looks at this defense as a whole, just the fight and the buy-in that he's continuing to see every week has really impressed him.
I think the biggest thing that we've had some success, and I just make sure they're on time for the team meal and stuff, and then they've been early for that, so I figure that's always a good sign. We get to the hotel, but kids just been bought into what we're doing. We can communicate very well on the sideline. you don't all of a sudden just create great attitude players. We have great attitude players. They were already here, and they're playing with that level of it right now. So how they handle things on the sideline, halftime they're like this. Both halftimes were a little rough. Indiana, and we played good defense. We gave up 14 points. We had the one on offense, but they'd scored twice right before. So halftime was like, how are we going to fix this? Same thing with this one. It's 13-0. What are we able to get done? We played solid in the first half after the first drive. Holding to the field goal was huge for us after the block punt. But that's all in the kids. I mean, that's just a bunch of guys being real dudes and stepping up and playing hard. Big eyes, big chests, bright-eyed, and that's all on them. So I'm just so proud of them. It's just so much fun to get a chance to coach them. Our staff loves coaching them. Nebraska should be proud of them for just the way they carry themselves.
The injuries to watch this week for Nebraska: linebacker Luke Reimer, who hopes to travel out to West Lafayette, corner Quentin Newsom, and then also keep your eyes on tight end Travis Vokalek, who hobbled off the field against Rutgers. For the Huskers here in Lincoln, I'm Sean Callahan, HuskerOnline.